Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 25th of October and we are going to deal with three very important topics which are in news. The first topic, which is basically a continuation from yesterday's topic, that is why farmers practice stubble burning. Farmers, particularly in the state of Haryana and Punjab, neighboring Delhi, they practice stubble burning, that is basically a crop residue. Why they do that? We'll look into the reasons for that, and obviously we'll also look into those steps which have been taken by the state government and the central government for these farmers, that they do not do it, but they are still doing it. So we'll see the effectivity of those kind of measures which have been undertaken. Then the next is the Dam Safety Act 2021, which is in news these days. This particular act is in news because the glacial lake outburst in Sikkim, which has led to a failure of a dam, that is the Teesta 3 hydroelectric power project, one of the biggest hydroelectric power projects in the country, that is the Chungthang Dam, which was broken, which led to further aggravated floods. And this has brought into picture the Dam Safety Act, which was passed in 2021, and it is being said that this Dam Safety Act was not followed or not implemented by the state government of Sikkim. And last topic which we are going to cover is Pradhan Mantri Anusuchit Jati Abhyudaya Yojana, PM Ajay it is called as. Now this was in news because of, I would say, some welfare initiatives for the scheduled caste people were intensified by the government of India. So we'll see in this particular topic what is this entire Yojana about. It was launched in 2021-22. It merged three schemes, that is the Pradhan Mantri Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana. The Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana was merged. Second was the central assistance to sub schemes by the states, that is basically a scheme which was there, that in which the central government was supplementing the state government's efforts to impact the SC people. And the third scheme was with respect to education, where hostels and alls were being constructed by the government for the SC students. So all this we'll see in this particular class or in this particular session of today. Now, why the farmers are practicing stubble burning? Farmers, during the end of Kharif season, that is basically somewhere near October, November, every year, they burn the agricultural residue on their fields. Agricultural residue of the Kharif crop which has been cultivated, particularly rice. The farmers believe that it is the shortcut, it is the shortest possible way for, I would say, managing this kind of agricultural residue. Otherwise, that agricultural residue is kind of a burden on them. With the rising input costs for agriculture, the farmers do not want to adopt any new techniques or machines which will be, I would say, managing this agricultural crop residue. They find it the best possible way and the cheapest way: burn it, restore fertility of the land and make it ready for the upcoming Rabi season. The government has taken multiple steps. The government is subsidizing these machineries also, which will manage this agricultural residue. But even after giving 50% subsidy, the farmers are not willing to buy, because that remaining 50% which the farmers have to pay out of their pocket is in itself very high. There is another intervention by the government named as Pusa Decomposer, but Pusa Decomposer takes around 15 to 20 days to decompose that agricultural residue and convert it into manure. Farmers do not have that much time. They want quick solutions. That is why they adopt this burning. Burning might solve their problems, but actually it aggravates the problem in the neighboring Delhi NCR region, which chokes the air, and it is now become a phenomenon of every year. So let us get into the details of this. Rice and wheat straws left in the field after combined harvesting are generally burnt by the farmers to facilitate seed bed preparation and seeding. Particularly in this month of October, rice is left. Farmers find this method as quick and cheap compared to other practices for crop residue management. Other practices will include purchase of machinery, and which we refer to as mechanization of agriculture. Now the farmers do not want to invest money on mechanization which will manage the crop residue, because they believe that already input costs are very high in agriculture. We are not able to save that much, we are not able to impact our earnings, or we are not able to reduce our poverty or our miseries. So since input cost of farming is going up day by day, farmers are not willing to further invest in equipments useful for crop residue management. They feel that this is an additional burden. We'll do the bare minimum, that is take tractors, take harvesters on rent, do the harvesting and all, and that is it. Will not go for that extra, I would say, inputs. Happy seeder is basically one such, I would say, mechanism, or one such, I would say, machine which has been developed. It is a tractor operated machine for in situ management of paddy stubble. In situ means on the field only this paddy stubble is managed, because this happy seeder collects all that straw with it and it is able to dispose. Continues to be an expensive method for majority of the farmers. This is actually there. Now, steps taken by the government. Central government, first of all, we'll see what steps the central government has taken for managing this kind of situation. A central sector scheme on promotion of agricultural mechanization for in situ management of crop residue in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and NCT of Delhi. This scheme has been launched, and what is happening under this scheme? 50% of the cost of machinery or equipment as financial assistance is being compensated by the central government, and 50% the farmers have to pay. Over the last 3 years, the center has been heavily subsidizing various agricultural machineries. Profit from the leftover biomass is also shared with the farmers. Like for example, the government also indulges in purchasing these, rice straws and all. Like for example, last year there was a ethanol plant which was inaugurated by our Prime Minister in the state of Haryana in Panipat. Now that ethanol is being prepared by using rice straws, that is agricultural leftovers, and government is paying to the farmers for buying that. But many farmers do not know about it, or they are also not willing to take their rice straws to Haryana, Panipat from Punjab and sell it to the government. That is kind of an additional burden on them. They feel ki burn it here on our fields only, and that will solve our problems quick and cheap. That is taken by the state governments. Now what the state governments have done, state governments have also taken considerable measures for tackling this kind of situation. First is, they are sensitizing the farmers, making them aware on basically these kind of practices, and will also, the state government is saying that they need to follow much healthier practices with respect to this. Now recently the Punjab government decided to give incentives to industries which install paddy straw fired boilers. So paddy straw fired boilers means boilers are there in which water is there, and generally fire is there, coal based fire is there, coal is used to generate heat. This water is converted into steam and used for multiple purposes. Now what the government is saying, instead of using coal, instead of using coal, use this paddy residue. Means you were burning this paddy residue on your field, don't burn it, sell it to those industries who are using boilers, and has incentivized those industries to install those kind of boilers which can facilitate paddy burning to generate heat to boil this water. Now in this scenario, demand for coal will also reduced, and this agricultural waste management will also happen properly. So this one step the government has taken. And then in these industries where government is saying that install these paddy residue or paddy fired boilers, these industries are saying that we can use this, agricultural residue for instead of coal, but this agricultural residue storage for this agricultural residue required is too big. That kind of storage is not required for coal, but for this it is required too much. So we do not have the space to store that. So the government has come up with some non-fiscal incentives also for these kind of industries and said that availability of panchayat land for storage of paddy straw will be given to them on a lease agreement for up to 33 years. There you can use those land under the panchayats to store this paddy, this kind of material which you have to burn to create heat. So these kind of incentives the state government has taken, but it is not working. There's another, I would say, step which has been taken, which is, I would say, in an innovation, that is a scientific innovation, that is Pusa decomposer. What it is? It is a bioenzyme. Bioenzyme means it is kind of a liquid. Now you have that paddy straw in your field which you are about to burn. Don't burn it. Spray Pusa decomposer on that. That is kind of a liquid, a bioenzyme, and leave it for 15 to 20 days. This has been developed by Indian Agricultural Research Institute to decompose crop residue. Now this bioenzyme will decompose the crop residue, and most importantly it will turn it into manure, kind of a fertilizer. It decomposes stubble within 20 to 25 days after spraying and turn it into manure, improving the soil quality. But the problem is this: 20 to 25 days. Farmers do not have that much time to wait. Farmers believe ki bhai, this season is over, start sowing wheat for the upcoming season, that is a rabi crop. It is cost effective as well. One packet of 4 capsules costs rupees 20, and rupees 20 is enough to make 25 liters of solution of Pusa decomposer, which will be sprayed, and it can be used in 1 hectare. 25 liters of solution. So this is how it is cost effective also, environment friendly also, but the main issue is the number of days, that is 20 to 25 days which it takes to decompose the agricultural residue. I would say that more scientific, innovations are required over here to reduce these number of days, maybe 5 days or 10 days, then this will be more effective. The Dam Safety Act 2021. The Dam Safety Act 2021 was in news because of the glacial outbursts in Sikkim. That glacial outburst led to increased amount of flow of water in the Chungthang Dam, which is there on the Teesta River, which led to its failure, means the dam broke down. Breaking down of the dam led to further aggravated flow of water downstream, which caused devastations in the state of Sikkim. In this entire episode, one thing which came to light was that where were the early warning systems, or where were the assessment systems in place which had to be done by the state government, mandated by the Dam Safety Act 2021. They were all missing. So that is why it was in news. Let's get into the details of this Dam Safety Act 2021. Actually, the Dam Safety Act 2021 was passed in the year 2021, as the name suggests. India almost has 6,000 large dams, and about 80% of them are more than 25 years old and carry safety risks. Now, if I compare this figure with that of China, China has around 98,000 dams. Big, small, sub mila ke every I would say category of dam included, it has 98,000, and India has only 6,000. But anyways, out of these 6,000, more than 80% of them are 25 years old, more than 25 years old, and carry safety risks. Definitely they will carry. Now on October 4, 2023, a glacial lake outburst flood in North Sikkim's South Lonak Lake. This was covered in 6th of October's video. You can watch that. Washed away one of the biggest hydropower projects in India, the Teesta 3 Dam, that is the Chungthang. Reports have since revealed there were no early warning systems, no risk assessment or preventive measures undertaken by the state government, because the state government has been obligated by this Dam Safety Act of 2021 to carry out such activities, and these were not in place. That is why this law is into picture. Now this is the map we discussed that day also. Here was that glacial lake outbursts here in this South Lonak Lake. Glacial lake outburst simply means that this particular lake, the South Lonak Lake, was receiving water from the melting of a glacier, but due to intense melting of that glacier, that lake, there was an outburst. Due to that outburst, increased flow of water along this line happened all over here. Then this stream was meeting the Teesta river. Teesta river is coming from here. This is the Teesta river. Now this stream met Teesta river over here at Lachen. There were flash floods over here. Then this came down. Here is this Chungthang dam, which was broken. And downstream the Chungthang dam, there was high amount of devastation, where army personnel also were missing from this Bardang region. So that is basically the map, and this is the dam which is in picture, due to which the Dam Safety Act 2021 is in news. Key provisions of this Dam Safety Act. First is a national committee on dam safety would oversee dam safety policies and regulations. Second is a national dam safety authority would be charged with implementation and resolving state level disputes. So National Commission on Dam Safety separate would be overseeing dam safety policies and regulations. National Dam Safety Authority for resolving state level disputes will be there. Then chairman of CWCs, the Central Water Commission, would head dam safety protocols at the national level, and the State Committee on Dam Safety and State Dam Safety Organization would be set up to manage the things at the state level under the state government. So these were, I would say, the organizations which had to be formed under this, I would say, the Dam Safety Act. Next is the obligations on the states. Provisions required the states to classify dams based on hazard risk, means which one is more hazardous, which one is less hazardous, which one is moderately hazardous. So this classification had to be done. Second was conduct regular inspections on dams, and with a special emphasis on more hazardous category dams. Create emergency action plans, that what happens in case of an emergency, what we'll do, what we'll not do, all these things should be there. Institute emergency flood warning systems and undertake safety reviews and periodic risk assessment studies. This is where the Sikkim government was lacking, and there was no warning systems installed. It just came and went. But South Lonak Lake, if we see, it is here. From when there was this glacial lake outburst from here, and till the time water reached here, there was considerable time to issue warnings or to take into account emergency systems which you had to develop under this law. But all of these, or majority of these, were missing, and that is why the Sikkim government is being criticized for this, that you did not follow this. The state were asked to report and record incidents of dam failures also according to this law. Now until now, no statutory provision required systemic reporting of failures, and no single agency was tasked with tracking this data. This was the failure of the state government also. The central government. And the CWC keeps a record, but the list is not updated regularly. Again, the fault of the government of India, the central government. So simply speaking, that not only the state government is responsible for this failure, but the central government is also responsible for this failure. Overall, if I would say, the Dam Safety Act 2021 was not implemented diligently. If it would have been implemented diligently, then we could, I would say, reduce the damage, or we could, help rescue more people, or we could make people more aware about this damage. And if that act would have been implemented diligently, there would also be a possibility that the Chungthang Dam would not go under breakdown. So it could have been a possibility. So laws are made to be implemented, followed, not, I would say, to be flouted, or to be, I would say, not implemented. There are certain challenges in this law, the Dam Safety Act. First is loopholes in the law, as it fails to incentivize transparency and punish neglect. We have not mentioned that those who are not following the law, how they'll be punished, and those who fail, those who are bringing in transparency, means reporting each and everything, they should be incentivized. There's no provision as such over there. So this is one, I would say, loophole in this law. Lack of transparency. Dam safety is a public purpose function, because a lot of people living in the nearby area, their lives are dependent on the dam and dam safety. Everything about dam safety, functions of all institutions and committees and authorities, their reports, decisions, minutes and agendas, everything should be there in the public domain, and it should be promptly available to the public. However, nothing is in public domain. So you go for access of information, you don't get it with respect to dam safety. The Act also requires dam builders to conduct comprehensive dam safety evaluations right from the design time to that, and periodically they have to evaluate after the construction of the dam that this is there, the dam is performing this or like that in terms of safety. However, there is no standardization of how the failure is analyzed and reported. Nothing, there's no standard set for that, but hopefully after this incident, or after this, I would say, accident, things should be better. That is the only way out, and Himalayas, a fragile zone, needs such kind of, I would say, interventions. The next is the Pradhan Mantri Anusuchit Jati Abhyudaya Yojana. This Yojana was started in the year 2021, and this Yojana has merged 3 schemes of the central government. These were the centrally sponsored schemes, means the schemes which have been formulated by the center but implemented by using the state government machinery. The funds are also shared between the center and the states. Now the 3 schemes are Pradhan Mantri Adarsh Gram Yojana. Second is Special Central Assistance to Scheduled Caste Sub-Plan. Now in this Special Central Assistance to Scheduled Caste Sub-Plan, the central government gives assistance to all those policies and plans made by the state government for the welfare of scheduled caste. So that investments by the state government will be supplemented by the central government under this special central assistance. And last is Babu Jagjeevan Ram Chhatravas Yojana. That was basically a yojana for constructing residential schools for the scheduled caste students. All in all, the Pradhan Mantri Anusuchit Jati Abhyudaya Yojana is all about welfare of the scheduled caste. Welfare of the scheduled caste by building adequate infrastructure for them, like hostels and all, or ensuring their livelihood by developing skills in them. It is all about that. The target, I would say, beneficiaries are scheduled caste under this program. Anusuchit Jati is basically scheduled caste. Now the aim of this yojana is to reduce poverty of the SC communities by generation of additional employment opportunities through skill development, income generating schemes and other initiatives. Second is to improve socio-economic developmental indicators by ensuring adequate infrastructure and requisite services in the SC dominated villages. Means we need to improve these indicators for them, for the scheduled caste, then only overall development, or I would say overall upliftment of the scheduled caste will happen, not only simply by providing them jobs and all, but yes, improve overall socio-economic development indicators like healthcare statistics, education statistics, everything. Now components, there are 3 components of this particular scheme. The first component is the development of SC dominated villages into an Adarsh Gram. Adarsh Gram is basically an aspirational, I would say, village where all the indicators of healthcare, I would say, or education or sanitation, all are good. That particular village will be acting like, I would say, an aspiration to other villages in the region. Okay. The objective of this component is to ensure integrated development of SC majority villages. Integrated development means all-round village, all-round development. Then only this will become an Adarsh Gram. Grants in aid for district state level projects are also given for socio-economic betterment of the scheduled castes. Then next is comprehensive livelihood projects. So we need to increase their livelihood also in order to reduce poverty. So how will we doing it? We will be doing it through skill development, related infrastructure development, financial assistance towards loans taken by beneficiaries for acquisition, creation of assets required for livelihood generation, etc. for the SC people. So like this, we will be, enhancing this particular, I would say, livelihood prospects for the scheduled castes. And the last is construction of hostels, the Babu Jagjeevan Ram Chhatravas Yojana, in higher educational institutions which are top ranked as per the National Institutions of or National Institutional Ranking Framework of Government of India and are funded by the center, state, UT governments either fully or partially. These are the three components of this particular Yojana. A factual, I would say, information it was. You need to understand which three, I would say, schemes were merged to form this particular Abhyudaya Yojana and the components of this, the targeted beneficiaries that are SCs. So today we've covered three topics. The first was a continuation from yesterday only, that why farmers practice stubble burning. Second was about the Dam Safety Act. It was kind of a requested topic also, and I had to cover this as well because it was in news. I was wanting it to settle down first. And the third topic was this Pradhan Mantri Abhyudaya Yojana for the Anusuchit Janjati or Anusuchit Jatis, for the scheduled caste actually. And I will be meeting you tomorrow with more such informative news pieces. You can also mention in the comment box which topic you want me to cover. If that will be relevant, I will definitely be covering it. Until then, you know guys what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste. Jai Hind.